everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is another episode of Pivotal, where I talk to small business owners and marketers here in the North Bay, or not North Bay, Northern California. Today, I'm so excited to talk to Jennifer, who is the owner of West Wind Succulents. It's based out of Lafayette, here in Contra Costa County, and she's based out of Oakland. And Jennifer, please tell me a little bit about your business and yourself.
Hi, sure. So I started my succulent business a few years ago, and I've lived in the Bay Area my whole life. I started as basically just like a freelance artist. I did window display for Macy's for like 7 years, so definitely used to be in a whole different retail kind of corporate world, and always knew I wanted to work for myself. So um, yeah, switched over to this, like did random artwork, and then somehow started growing succulents and fell in love. So I decided to kind of use succulents as my new artistic medium, and it's been fun. So I normally, before shelter in place, I did like classes were my big thing. So big groups of people. And
And your last one was February, right? For
yeah,
Valentine's Day.
yeah, like a week or so before this happened, I had like two in one day. So I was like, yay, this is great.
I tried to sign up and they were sold out super quickly. And yeah, so tell me about kind of your model of what you were doing before and hey, what you're doing now.
Yeah. So what I was doing before, I don't have I'm just like a mobile business. I don't have a brick and mortar at all. So what I would do is like a lot of street fairs and little pop up markets. Del Cielo and Martinez was awesome and hosted a lot of artisan markets and got me connected to that community. And yeah, then I started doing only about a year and a half ago. I started doing the classes where I would do it's kind of like the paint night version, only with succulents. So we do like wreaths and like how to care for, and I've done some small landscape ones. But unexpectedly, the classes were really the thing that started like booming. And so I never planned to be a teacher at all, but that was a new thing that I adapted to. So I was going with it. And yeah, February was my best month. And it was all because of classes. I had like eight or nine classes in 1 month. And so when this happened, yeah, it was scary, but like I think probably like a lot of other people, I just kind of had my fingers crossed that it'd be short term. So in that short term, I just kind of started doing like Instagram live videos and posting in my stories things that were for sale, things that I had already made for markets, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta just get rid of these. And then I started like doing the Instagram live and um, started trying to figure out how to list things on my website because I had done very, very little e-commerce before and very little shipping before, and always knew that was something that I like should do and wanted to do, but I was kind
That
of just
really
like,
seems to be a theme for a lot of people. You know, there's a
yeah,
lot of I'm gonna get myself included. Like I'm gonna get to that on my website.
yeah,
But when everything else is going, okay, it's hard to kind of move to that until you are forced to.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was trying to be really positive and like, oh, great, well, now I'll do that. And, like I ordered boxes. Up until that point, I only was getting, orders here and there, and I would just reuse old boxes, which I was into because I don't like creating more cardboard in the world. Um, but it was like to the point where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, I have to like not make it take, 45 minutes to back up a $30 order.
Yeah.
So that was something that was all a learning curve. But yeah, I just started doing a few more orders and just kind of like pushing a little harder on my Instagram. And a tip that I have found too is like I felt like I grew my community more. I had already started connecting with more women entrepreneurs, which was really helpful. And I just kind of like, yeah, I kind of just like kept doing that more because it was like we needed each other more than ever now, is what it felt like. So,
Absolutely. I think also I'm going to say that your Instagram lives have helped that. Just adding a bit of a personality and like a true connection with people, and I think that's what makes people want to buy from you. I know that's kind of why I wanted to go to the classes in the beginning.
oh,
Also,
great.
I mean that Valentine's Day heart wreath was gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
So there's that. I mean, you have a good product to start off with. That's awesome. And then your personality also kind of shines through on Instagram Lives. I will say
Oh,
that.
that's awesome. That's good to know. That's like, I mean, thought about that a little bit, but I don't think I realized how that, like, that was that helpful. So,
I don't think that's something that people think about until they actually start doing it and start actually seeing the connections that people have with, people, other people.
yeah.
Yeah. So what are you doing? I mean, you've had two big succulent holidays since this has started. Two of them.
Yeah.
Mother's Day and Easter. I mean, what did you do for those and what are you planning on doing for I don't know, graduation and
Yeah.
Father's Day?
Hoping graduation will be big. Really, it like actually Easter was not super big. I was just
Mm.
getting things here and there. I feel like Mother's Day was the first thing that I actually like advertised for. Like,
Okay.
hey, get your mom, I mean, it just so happened that it's like the absolute most perfect holiday for my type of work,
Mhm.
but yeah, like I had never done like it's this occasion, you should get stuff, and I just kind of was like, okay, well, let me try that. I'll start posting about it, and it worked. And I had I was like kind of crazy, and I had just redone my website in a way that was more simplified. I think that really helped. I was
What website
using
are you? Oh,
yeah, I was using Squarespace, which I know a lot of people do e-commerce on there, and I was familiar with it, so I didn't want to switch, but I was having trouble figuring out like shipping and just certain little things, and it was like too complex. And so I had known some people that use they're a Square online store
mhm,
partnered with Weebly, and I use Square for all of my marketing or like markets when I sell for
mhm.
credit cards. So I was like, oh, let's have everything in one place for once in my life. That'd be nice. So yeah, I was able to actually had a little kerfuffle and like lost with like I didn't save my old website information in the right way before I like deleted it. So I kind of like created a website in like 3 days, and it was
That's the
awful,
time.
but
Uh,
yeah.
That's hilarious. I talked to three other people. One, she raises chickens and she sells eggs. She created a whole new website in 3 days. Another is
Wow.
a hair salon owner that started selling products online. 3 days. So you
Oh,
guys, three
weird.
days is the magic number for building a whole
Apparently.
new website.
Yeah, it
I
was like the worst thing ever, but at the same time, it was kind of like shit hitting the fan, excuse me, kind of like made it simplify in a way was like, well, what do I absolutely need and what do I absolutely want? It made me like like, okay, well, what 3 photos instead of 12 photos do I really want? Like it just went kind of zoop. And it also, everyone kept saying at that time, like, let go of perfection. And I have such a hard time with that. And I was just like, kept saying that to myself, like, just get it functional. You can make it perfect later. if
I that is such great advice. I think that might be like the title of this. I know because honestly, I'm looking at your website right now and it looks perfect to me.
I know.
So that
So weird. People keep saying how great it is, and I'm like, are you just being nice?
you know
Three
what
days.
what I've noticed is that we as the person who's the creator stares at this stuff over and over again and it just we pick out every imperfection
Yeah.
like our hair or
Oh
makeup
yeah.
too. But no, this website looks really cool, and it looks like I can buy a mini succulent starter kit for my kid, or a heart wreath, which are just absolutely gorgeous. This is cool. Uh,
Awesome.
yeah.
Great.
So let's pretend like however long until everything's normal, uh, until we're allowed to have events again and be in person. are you going to keep up the website?
Yes. Yeah. I really like it. And I've actually just started doing, I did my first Zoom wreath making class where I
Okay.
shipped out all the little kits. And then we did a little class together with like 7 people, and it was fun.
It
I'm like really surprised, and I've taught a couple of landscape classes via Zoom. But the crafting thing was kind of like, that's complicated. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make that work, but I did it once, and it's just like it's just practicing and just doing it, and it really is the letting go of perfection and like the anxiety of all of the problem solving for me. I'm noticing that I'm kind of a person who like I easily put up roadblocks for myself. I'm like, oh, I can't do that because this and this. And so this has kind of forced me to like take each roadblock and just freaking figure it out. Like ask the questions, or again, actually I did the class with Jenna from the Joy Filter.
okay.
Heard of
I've
her?
heard of
Or
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and she's awesome. And she was so great because she wanted to do it, and she's like, test it out on me. And so, that's what I would recommend to people too, is like, if you're not comfortable, do it with a friend. Like have a friend buy something online, or like have a friend do whatever you're thinking isn't good enough, or not going to work, just test it
That's
with a friend, or a previous customer, that like supports you, and just be like, hey, since you've shown interest in my product before, I want to test out this new thing, and like give them a deal, and then just like do it and
I
see.
I love that advice. In fact, I followed that advice with this kind of series. So you'll see if you go to YouTube, you'll see there's two of these that look totally different. Um, my friend Landon, who has a membership, he I don't even know what it is. I shouldn't say this. He does a lot of wine events. Him and I talked via Facebook Messenger, and so he's really big in the video, and I'm like in the corner in a little box talking, and so it doesn't look like this. And then I discovered this app, and I fell in love with how easy it is and how you don't have to sign up with anything, and so I really like this StreamYard,
That's
especially
good.
because
I
I
was
can.
thinking about this too. I was like, oh, should I use this for classes?
This is really useful, especially I get to like put little banners like that.
Nice.
Or I
Yeah.
could tell people to subscribe, or there's a lot of cool things that this could do. But I love the idea of, if asking friends to look at your website and see how easy it is to purchase, or, test out Zoom with someone. My husband and I have been going back and forth testing out different videos, or like I got a new microphone and just
Mhm.
I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
So he having someone, even if they're not around you, the connections are still there.
Yeah.
It's still one-on-one with people or through social media. I love that. I love
Right.
that you've been doing lives, teaching people how to, because I'm going to be honest, I've never kept a succulent alive. I
I hear that a
never
lot.
have.
It's okay.
What?
I said I hear that a lot. Don't worry, it happens.
So I bought one today at a local garden, or actually, I should say my 4-year-old did. So he is determined to keep it alive. I said, we
Yay!
just can't bring it inside.
That it really increases your challenges when you have them indoors. That's
Yeah.
I will say. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a palm tree right now inside, and we'll see if it lasts.
That works. See, that's suited for the indoors.
Yeah, but I really do love your tips of, letting go of perfection and testing things out with friends, because I hear that time and time again of people just their anxiety, just everything seems so overwhelming, but just
Yeah.
putting together, a few things that are going to move the needle. And it sounds like, I mean, you don't have that much on your website, but you don't necessarily need to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was something helpful too. It was just the same thing with products. Like I don't have to have everything. Like don't have like potted arrangements back on there yet because I need to figure out like, am I only going to do delivery and can I do shipping on some of them? And yeah, there's a lot of things to iron out. And I will say too that I mean, I've had like, I'm not just like, oh yeah, practice, it was easy. Like I have been, moments of just being like, I'm never going to figure this out. This is awful. I can't do this. But just, I think the continually reaching out for help is so important, and people have answers. And even just Googling, like I'll spend like an hour Googling something, and then I'm just like, put it out there to your group of support, whether it's your friends, your family, like, find a Facebook group, even if you're not a part of, just somehow reach out, because that has really pulled me up when I'm like, this is never going to happen. And
Yeah.
then Mother's Day was like the best week of my business ever,
That's awesome.
ever.
I am
And
so happy to hear that. I am so unbelievably happy to hear
I
that.
wanted to die when it was over, but no.
That's when you've made it as a small business owner. You have the days or anything, big events like that. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. But I
I
learned
am
so much. So it was great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And thank you guys all for watching, until the end. Like the little banner at the bottom says, find us on Instagram, West Wind Succulents and Shrere. And thank you, Jennifer, so much for being a part of this. And
Yeah,
I'm
thank
so
you.
excited to see, what happens with your business.
Yeah,
And
thank you
I'm
so much. This
excited
is a great
for
idea.
when we do have live events. I'm definitely gonna get on that right away because they sold out super quickly.
Yeah, or who knows, maybe it'll be longer than we want and we can
you,
do a Zoom one.
you know what? That I'm not against that as well. So
Yeah.
I say go for it and post it on social media, and I'll sign up for that.
Yay.
All right. Thank
Okay, thank
you.
you. Bye.